buongiorno, buonanotte, whatever time it is and wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into another edition of Inter Talks. Unfortunately, we don't get to come to you today with our 8th straight win. We're going to have to take the L today against Barcelona, but I'm here to talk you through it, show some optimism. It's not going to go down as negatively as you think. We'll spend a little bit of time on the player ratings today, but I want to also shift into the Lazio fixture this weekend, which now has even more importance with the Champions League results that didn't go our way, but also did in the PSV and Tottenham fixture. So we'll just start by reviewing the Inter and Barcelona match. Unfortunately, we didn't come out into the fixture guns blazing like we have in Italy recently, but that's to be expected. The side did look a little lackluster in the first 45 minutes, almost as though they were a little bit starstruck by the occasion. Going to the Camp Nou in Barcelona, it's a very intimidating stadium to go to. You're obviously dealing with one of the most passionate fan bases in the world and a team that is born and bred with success. And because of that, I don't think we went into this fixture as well prepared as we probably could have been. You take into consideration that we're just coming off a derby as well 3 nights before that, and there are a lot of different reasons today why Inter couldn't get the job done, so we'll focus on that now. We'll start off by talking about the first half. Lackluster, a little slow, struggling to comprehend the pace and the flow of the match. Performance-wise, I think we just saw a lot of fatigue early on in the Inter players, and that really caused us some damage later on in the match. So in terms of the player ratings, courtesy of SempreInter, Samir Handanovic received a 7. He had a good performance tonight, a string of really, really good saves that kept us pretty much in the match up until the second goal went in. Quadra Samoa didn't have a great match today. I'm going to put it down to fatigue. The same way with players such as Milan Skriniar. He looked a little tired today, but with all the possession, you know, Barcelona finished on 74% possession. With all that attack, some of the best centre-back duos in the world are bound to look a little bit tired or fatigued or make a mistake here and there. We concede a goal in the first half to none other but Rafinha. Riprendi Rafinha, my guy. Everybody I know is sick to death of me talking about Rafinha. I sometimes go on about him like he's an old girlfriend that you're not ready to get over. But I think he just showed that quality and class and those quick decisions to get in and out of midfield gaps that we've been missing. So moving on to the rest of our side, Miranda, 5.5 rating. Not a bad performance, but one again doesn't necessarily look like he's equipped to deal with that fast pace, penetrating pressure. I'd much rather see Stefan de Vrij in there, but wink wink, Lazio in 4 days. We all know what that was for. Danilo D'Ambrosio, 5.5. Again, I'm just going to do a few ratings all at once. D'Ambrosio, 5.5. Vecino, 6. Valero, 4.5. Candreva, 4.5. I would say I would agree with all of these ratings performance-wise, but I do not blame these individuals. It seems as though they stepped into, they were thrown into a deep end today, something that they weren't ready to perform at or comprehend. Borja Valero, in my opinion, I'm sorry, you're not a UEFA Champions League player at your age. Antonio Candreva, you're not a UEFA Champions League player at your age. Danilo D'Ambrosio, you're not a UEFA Champions League right back at any age. No offense, you know, it's not that I have anything personal against the player. I just think when you're going to the Camp Nou against Barcelona, that elevation of class was showed today in the separation between the two sides. Ivan Perisic received a 5 as well, and I've got to say, I don't like seeing Ivan Perisic take the field at 60% health and fitness and capacity. When he takes the pitch at 60% fitness, he turns into a normal player. We don't need any more normal players. We have enough mediocrity sometimes as it is. We need Perisic to be Perisic. And if he's not 100% fit, I would prefer to see him come in the match later on than to have started it today. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Matteo Politano came on and received a 6. He was good today. Probably should have started ahead of Candreva, but, you know, once again, Spalletti was looking to go for some experience there. Icardi lacked all the service in the world. 5.5 rating, I would agree. Wasn't that good. He was pretty invisible. But, you know, I would say it wasn't really his fault, to be honest. Going into the Spalletti rating, he received a 5.5. I don't necessarily think he had a bad match, Spalletti. He came out in the post-match conference and said that, you know, we didn't attack the first half the way that we should have. And I think that's true, but he did make some good subs in the second half. He brought on Politano, Martinez, and Keita Balde, 3 attacking players, and he went for it, so to speak. Not too sure if the boys were necessarily up for it because Balde received a 5 and so did Martinez. They both looked lackluster, both looked poor, but I'm pretty sure that this was Lautaro Martinez's first performance in the UEFA Champions League, and you know, there's probably no tougher ground in the world to do it. So just to finish off about the Champions League this morning, let's just talk about the context for a second. I feel as though the second that PSV equaliser went in to make it 2-2 against Tottenham, that was the moment where our boys thought the match against Lazio becomes that little bit more important than this fixture now. We can take the negative result from today and realise that we are still 5 points clear in second position in the Champions League. We have 3 matches in which we pretty much just need to beat Tottenham, and they need to go to the new camp as well. So the positivity is still there, the optimism is still there, and in wake of 7 matches won in a row, if I was to have picked any fixture to have had to drop points or to lose, it would have been this one at the Camp Nou, because we can still take a lot of confidence and optimism from this performance. Let's say we wouldn't be going into a similar dressing room atmosphere as 1-0 versus Parma, 1-0 versus Sassuolo, or the 2-2 draw against Torino. That's all for the Champions League. Let's move on to this weekend. I am a lot more nervous for this fixture than I was for the Barcelona one. I think that due to the hype of last season's ending match, this match is going to be huge at the Olimpico. Stefan de Vrij did not feature today. He's coming back in that centre-back position for sure. He is going to give the performance of his career in that fixture. Not that he hasn't given a performance of his career in that fixture already, but we're looking for another one this time around. Other than that, it's still a little bit early as I'm recording this, but I can just tell off the top of my head that with about 5 days rest, Šimi Vrsaljko will come back in. That's a guarantee. He will come in to start at right back, and I'll be very happy to see him there. Matteo Politano, in my opinion, will come back in for Antonio Candreva and start the match. Raja Nainggolan will take no part in the fixture. He will also take no part in the return leg against Barcelona. The earliest I've just read that he's been tipped to come back is for the November 16 or November 24, I can't remember, I'm so sorry for being inaccurate, fixture against Frosinone, in which case he probably misses that one as well due to the conservative nature of the opposition and, you know, Spalletti probably wanting to rest him a bit further. So guys, I'm just here to tell you, the media's saying it, I'm saying it, forget about Raja Nainggolan for at least 3 weeks, in my opinion. He's not going to be available for selection. Other than that, we'll pretty much have a full squad to choose from, and I'm personally pretty interested to see how Spalletti is going to go into this match because, you know, coming off the back of the derby victory, the confidence is really high for us in Serie A at the moment. After that horrible start to the season where, you know, at one point we were sitting in 17th, just a couple, like 1 goal difference above the relegation zone. I know that means nothing now, but we've actually clawed our way back all the way to 3rd. You know, we're not 5th or 6th looking in with 1 match behind 3rd. We're 3rd. And we need to stay there now and move up from the ladder from here on in. We need to start taking these Serie A games very, very seriously now over the next 3 or 4 weeks and get maximum points as much as possible due to the fact that we do have that little bit of breathing space in the Champions League as well. Great edition so far, guys. I'm going to move into a couple of comments regarding this morning's loss to Barcelona. We have Mohammed from Egypt. Egypt seems to be a pretty popular country where our comments are coming from. He says, do you rest Brozovic this weekend after Barcelona? I say leave that one up to Spalletti. If he's fit, play him, because we ain't got no plan B, fam. We have got nothing in terms of the creativity department there. Just on that, I made a deal. No Mercato talk or no transfer talk in any of these Inter talks. But this morning really reiterated the fact we need another technical midfielder to complement Marcelo Brozovic. There was just not enough action from Vecino. No 90-minute heroics either. We got another comment here. Gabby from Morocco. Morocco, that's a new one. Gabby says, Ivan Perisic has been invisible for quite some time now. Can Martinez play on the wing? I don't think he can play on the wing, especially not the left wing. I think he's been tried on the right-hand side once or twice. Not his favorite position. I would stick to keeping him as a striker, a second striker, or playing behind Icardi. Let's not let his performance against Barcelona for 20 minutes today really tell the tale for what we expect. We know what Martinez is capable of. We paid great money for him for a good reason, and he is going to come good. That is for sure. Guys, once again, thank you for tuning into Inter Talks, the Inter show for all English-speaking Inter fans around the world. Shout out to my boy Raul for his last video, previewing the Barcelona match and reviewing the derby. We're all still on a high from that one, let's not lie. and he'll be doing the review against Lazio at the weekend. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. Thank you to all the fans, especially the ones on Facebook who helped us go from 7,500 to 8,500 followers in one day after the derby. Guys, as always, Forza Inter.